What's up, everybody? Sir LT Giles here, and this is just gonna be a discussion on my expectations for the new Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Well, I guess I'd have to say pretty low. Now, not saying it's gonna be a bad movie, of course not. I will be at the midnight showing, regardless. There's nothing gonna stop me from being at the midnight showing. I went to the midnight showing for Phantom Pain, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. It's a great experience. I love doing it. Now, the prequels weren't that great, but I enjoyed them. I had a good time at each one of them watching the midnight showings. The Revenge of the Sith, I love the battle between Anakin and Obi-Wan. That movie wasn't all that great, but you got to see how everything unfolded. And nothing's like the originals. I mean, I grew up off Star Wars. Playing with action figures in the 80s, when I was a kid. Having the Millennium Falcon toy, I remember a friend of mine when I was in elementary school, and I used to go over his house and we would play with our toys. His dad made models, and he had a big Millennium Falcon hanging from the ceiling and stuff. And he also had the Star Trek Enterprise and some other cool things. And I'm really intrigued to see how this is gonna be, how this Star Wars will be. I'm hoping action packed. I'm hoping we'll see a lot of good characters. It's really cool that we're gonna have the old school characters, Han Solo and Chewie and Leia. I've heard rumors that Admiral Akbar is gonna be in this movie, and that really is pretty cool. I'm excited to see Luke, and we haven't seen him in none of the trailers, and I think that'll be pretty awesome. I remember when I was real little. I can't remember. I believe I was living in Washington at the time, Washington State, right before I came here to Vegas, and I believe it was 88 or 87. I was a little kid then, real little, but it's my farthest Star Wars memory. And we were over at not a neighbor's house. I believe my stepdad's friend's house, and he had the big screen back then. The big screens were big fat TVs with like knobs on them. I'm pretty sure if you're under 20 years old, you probably never seen one unless your grandma has one or something like that. But anyways, we watched The Empire Strikes Back, and I still remember to this day, man, the scene where Luke and Darth Vader are fighting in the hallway, and Darth Vader's just throwing with the Force, throwing stuff at Luke, and Luke's just jumping up and hitting him and stuff. And man, the fight gets outside in the epic scene. Luke, I am your father, and he's like, "It can't be." It's just such an epic scene, and the whole movie. I mean, the battle at Hoth, and a scene that terrified me as a kid, and to this day I find it scary, is when Luke goes in and in that area when he's training with Yoda. I think it's kind of like a dream, but he fights Darth Vader, and you see the face, and it's his own face. And that scene always scared me. Now, I guess it's a tie for me, my favorite in the series, between Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. Of course, Star Wars is a classic. I like Star Wars, but Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back, absolute favorites. Man, I should have pulled this out. I have in one of my old boxes. I have a VHS trilogy of the old trilogy of the original Star Wars. And once again, if you're under 20, kids probably don't know what VHSs are. And funny thing is, I don't even have a VHS or VHR anymore. But I guess my expectations are pretty low. Like, I'm not expecting this to be Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi, but like I said, I'm definitely going to be going to the midnight showing. I love the atmosphere. I don't dress up myself, but I love seeing people dressed up as Jedis or or whatever they are. You know, I remember when I saw Revenge of the Sith, there was a big ass Darth Vader out there walking around, even with the fake lightsaber and stuff. And I remember me and it was so funny. See, I'm very daring. I don't care if you give me a dare, I'm gonna do it. And my buddies, they told me, they said, dude, I bet you won't go up to the front of the line and tell the guy in the front, you will let me go in front of you. So I went to the front of the line and I told the guy, I said, you will let me. And he started laughing. It was pretty funny. And people behind him started laughing. And, you know, we were just all joking and excited to see Star Wars. And, you know, the ending of that night wasn't too good because at the end of that night, my roommate, he actually sacrificed his sleep to go see Revenge of the Sith. And we, it was a midnight show, obviously, and it was over probably around like 2. No, maybe 1. Yeah, probably like 2 something because it was a 2-hour film. And he drops him off at my car, and I'm going to take my friend Bobby home, right? And they leave. And so all of a sudden, I start the car. I didn't even check my tires. I start the car, and what the fuck? My tire is flat. I'm like, oh, shit. So I have to call him and wake him up. Well, now he's not asleep yet, but he's still, it's mind you, it's going to be 3 o'clock. And he has to be to work at 5. So he comes, gets me and Bobby, and takes us home. So the end of the night wasn't that great, but I still had a good time. But I'm excited to see some Jedi battling, some freaking space battles. I hope we see space battles. I mean, in the trailer, you see TIE fighters fighting X-Wings, so I'm excited for that. But, like I said, I won't miss it for the world. Am I expecting Return of the Jedi Empire Strikes Back? By no means. But, like I said, I'll be there. Let me know what you guys think, what your expectations are. Hit me up in the comments, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. LT out.